This local channel is sponsored by Michaud Insurance. Since 1979, Michaud Insurance has been providing comprehensive insurance options to our friends and neighbors. Find out how we work for you at 978-685-2549 or at michaudinsurance.com.
Hello, and welcome to Methuen Now, the good news program of our community. I'm your host, Michelle Houle. Methuen Community Studios has been introducing you to the candidates all election season. The results are in, and here's who will be stepping into office this January.
It's a privilege. You earn this. You don't own it. You've not deserved this. You earn it.
Current City Councilor at Large Nick Tizoglio is talking about the opportunity to serve your community as an elected official. For Councilor Tizoglio, what came out of the night was the news that he will be serving on the Methuen School Committee come January. After 3 terms as Councilor at Large, he will be continuing his service in a different capacity. And he is not the only one who has something different come January. Political newcomer John Drew will be serving as Councilor at Large, one of the seats open with Tizoglio's term ending. For Drew, one of the best parts of the campaign was connecting with his kids while connecting with his potential voters.
The kids were a huge part of this. That was honestly one of the best parts of this campaign. It was every night going out knocking doors, and my wife works nights. She works 3 to 11. She's a nurse, and I'd have the kids. So when I didn't have the coverage, I would take the kids and I'd have a Barbie in one hand and my palm card in the other, and I'd be walking up to doors meeting people. And that's really what it kind of takes, is to make that human connection with everybody, and just to hear their frustrations and what they want to see happen, and the changes they want, and the things that are good too. There are a lot of things that people don't want to change about the city, and I agree with a lot of those. So I think my message resonated, obviously, that we can put the city in a good place and get out of the headlines for the wrong reasons and try to put us in a really positive place.
Mayoral candidate Barbara Stowe-Bell had a view of the election season that highlighted the positives of every candidate who put themselves out there, with a little insight into 2027.
But I look at the talent base that has come across in this campaign. Every single person who is running, whether they're an incumbent or a brand new person to government like myself, is amazing. And the diversity of the group is something that Methuen, across the board, we should be proud of. And so however that comes out in the end now, it is to our benefit. However these people, we all shake out in whatever information, we're given tonight, I wish the very best to every single person that ran. And for those who are listening right now, there is going to be another election in 2 years, and there are going to be more people needed. New ideas are the weapon of what is happening around us, which is not bringing the best to Methuen. We need to always be stepping up and looking forward, and I hope, if anything, anyone who's out there, if you ever thought about running, just do it.
Incumbent Mayor DJ Beauregard stopped by the MCS studios on election night as well, with a message for the residents, not only about the election results this year, but about what is to come and his respect for his fellow candidates.
I view it as sort of steady as she goes, where I was in the office today and I'll be going into the office tomorrow, and there's really going to be no change. But I am just so grateful to the people of Methuen for coming out to vote today, for making your voices heard, and for having faith in me to continue serving as mayor for 2 more years.
The final numbers of the night, while not completely official, were the final answer as to who will be in the official seats come January. That was the true cap to the MCS coverage of election 2025.
Yes, I think we're going to run through numbers again, and then we'll see if anyone else comes in to join us. So let's start with the mayor's race, please. The mayor's race, Barbara Stobel, a political newcomer, got 1,064 votes. And DJ Beauregard, the incumbent, received 4,459. And so he will be serving as our mayor. All right, looking at Councilor at Large, we have Ryan Robert DiZoglio, 3,112. Francisco Cirillo, 924. James Sarcioni, 1,806. John Richard Drew Jr., 2,444. Jana Zani Pesh, 2,541. And Wanda Carolina Santos with 1,864. And the three with asterisks, Mr. DiZoglio, Mr. Drew, and Ms. Pesh will be the councilors at large. Okay, we'll look at the next race, the school committee. 6 of these folks were elected out of the 9 who ran. We'll start with Nicholas DiZoglio, 3,120. Kenneth Robert Willett, 2,408. Kristen Maxwell, 2,197. Lori J. Keegan, 2,354. Mary Beth Donovan Grassi, 2,731. Alejandro Alberto Baez, 1,787. Martha McCarthy Sorois, 2,390. Danielle Fantry, 1,270. And Maria Isabella Figueroa, 1,693. So there will be some experience on this school committee. I believe Mary Beth Donovan Grassi had been sitting on there in an appointed seat. Lori Keegan had been elected, and so had Kristen Maxwell before. And Kenneth Robert Willett was also, I think, appointed as well.
Yes,
so there's
he
some
was.
experience in this group, but there's also a couple of newcomers to the group, and you have one former city councilor who is coming over to the school side. And looking at some of the districts, Central District Councilor Ella Page McLaren at 806, Sharon Birchall, 557, Luann Alana Santos, 399, Yanilda Santos for 640. So there are 2 newcomers who will be serving the Central District, Ella Page McLaren and Yanilda Santos. In the West District, Mike Simard returns to the council with 1,417 votes. Dan Chabelia Jr., 762. And Patricia Valley, the incumbent, will continue to serve with 1,108 votes. And I think we have the East. Yes, we do. Nellie Soto with 1,053. Ian Michael Buckley, 764. And Ronald P. Marsan, I'm sorry, I can't call him Ronald.
No, he's Ron.
Ron Marsan with 1,159. They are incumbents, and they will be returning with their experience to continue to serve on the council. The GLTHS School Committee, these 2 gentlemen will both be serving, representing Methuen at the Technical Regional High School. Thomas Raymond Hayden, sorry.
Do you wonder why you thought it was Hayden?
3,580. And Bradley J. Jones, 3,354. The Housing Authority will be represented by these 2 ladies, Nancy Reardon, 3,632, and Ellen Barry Weinhold, 2,870.
And Nancy is actually a returning
She's
Housing
returning
Authority
Housing Authority
member.
person. Yep. Mm-hmm. And the Nevins Memorial Library Trustees, a very important organization in our community. Kelsey Francis Shibilia is 2,035. Christine Tuma Conway, 3,427. She is also, I believe, returning.
Yes, she is.
She is returning to the trustees. And David Boucher, who I believe is new to the political scene, 2,295 votes.
On October 18th, demonstrators gathered from coast to coast for No Kings rallies, calling for transparency and accountability in government. Methuen joined cities across the nation with hundreds of residents turning out to lend their voices to the cause. Karen Hayden has our story.
Methuen joined the National No Kings Day by hosting its first rally on October 18th. Residents gathered to hear speakers, hold signs, and share their thoughts on current events.
250 years ago here in Massachusetts, that men and women stood out on Lexington Green and on the bridge in Concord and said to a king who thought he had power over us, "No, you don't. You cannot trample on our rights and get away with it." And now 250 years here in Methuen, all over the Commonwealth and all over the country, we are doing that again.
I felt it was important to do because I had been going to a lot of rallies in Andover and oftentimes in Boston because the energy is just so great there. So I just felt the need to do it in Methuen. I knew that there were a lot of Methuen people that are interested in getting a little bit more active in their community and nationally. So I contacted the National King's Day organization, and they had a form that you could fill out with the details of what you're planning to do. So I used their format to advertise the No Kings protest in Methuen. The response is overwhelming. We put it out last Friday, the notice, and by Monday we had about 150 people signed up, and it has just grown from there. So it's been just really rewarding to see that people in this community do care about democracy and standing up for what's right.
I find it very important to let everyone know that we are a democracy. And I need to let my kids know I fought for them, my grandkids.
I'm a little bit older, but it reminds me of Vietnam. When people team together to get the word out, they get more informed. So a lot of times, it's unfortunate that people take the word of certain leaders without expanding and listening to another political leader. And this is what we're trying to do, is get the word out. I feel proud to be part of this as a Methuen resident, lifelong Massachusetts resident, and a proud member of America.
We've all seen the ICE raids. If people are here illegally and they've committed a crime, everybody's for that, but nobody wants to see their neighbors being dragged out of a car, thrown to the ground, and especially we were even seeing children getting zip-tied. This is outrageous.
Trump is calling us domestic terrorists. We hate America, all this kind of stuff. So far from truth. So look how dangerous we are. We're frogs. It's stupid, and this just laughs at it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, as well as the fact that I don't mind that it shows the disparity between what we're trying to do and what they're trying to say that we're trying to do, and their own actions as well. I mean, when they pepper sprayed Mr. Frogman in the face, didn't look that threatening to me, to be honest. We're standing up for democracy. We love this nation. That's why we're here.
Well, I thought I needed to have my voice heard. I've been seeing a lot of things going on that really I don't agree with. I don't understand how we can have people in authority wearing masks, bringing people to jail. I don't get it. And I feel like, personally, I'm not way left, I'm not way right, I'm in the middle. And I really think it's time to start to bring some of us in the middle and have our voice heard and kind of come out of the shadows.
From Riverside Park, this is Karen Hayden reporting for Methuen Now.
A familiar name in healthcare is entering a new chapter. Holy Family Hospital has officially changed its name and is now part of a 3-hospital system serving our community. Karen Hayden tells us what the new partnership means for care and services in Methuen.
Merrimack Health, which runs the former Holy Family Hospital in Methuen, celebrated the official name change this fall. CEO Diana Richardson explains what's happened behind the scenes to bring 3 hospitals under one banner.
Our physicians are part of the same team, regardless of which hospital you practice in. Some of them practice in all the hospitals, some are very focused in one location, but our medical staff is one. The second is our medical records are now one system, which means if you are seen anywhere in our system, we can see your records. So if you had care in the emergency facility in Haverhill, but are now following up with a specialist in Lawrence, we have access to your medical records wherever you are, which was really a huge endeavor. Still a lot of work to do. The facilities were not invested in by Steward Healthcare for a very long time, and so there is a lot of infrastructure work that needs to happen.
Even though there's a new name outside, Diana Richardson shares why there are a lot of familiar faces inside providing healthcare services.
Everyone who is here stayed here because they were committed to the community, even though it became harder and harder to provide that good care under the kind of Steward leadership. They stayed hoping that there was a way to continue to care for their community. So it's not that I'm surprised by the commitment, but I am surprised by the depth of that commitment and the excitement of those same individuals who lived through COVID, lived through those challenging times to really step up and reinvent the organization as a premier healthcare provider. What it means now is we can actually pause and think about what does the community really need. So for example, there are some services we'll need in multiple locations. The emergency facilities are essential to all of our communities. None of those can go away. So we will maintain emergency services in Haverhill, in Methuen, and in Lawrence. They're all busy, vibrant, and important to their communities. But other services maybe don't have to be in every location. Some of our facilities are closer together. Some services you only go to once. And so having a premier kind of center of excellence for a particular service makes more sense. Secondly, we have to take care of the people who do that work. It is hard, exhausting work to provide health care. It has always been that way, but over the last several years, that has become more and more intense. We have an amazing team, and we have to take care of them and support them so that they are able to provide that care to our community. And the last is we have to do that in a fiscally responsible way. We have an obligation to stay and to thrive, to be here for our community. We are a safety net provider. Many of our patients do not come from situations that they have the ability to pay even sometimes transportation to go out of the community and get that care. So we have a responsibility to care for those patients, to be here in a really, I would say, being good stewards of our resources. Pretty simple vision. Take care of the patients, take care of the staff, and take care of the organization.
As a longtime professional, Ms. Richardson relishes the opportunity to lead Merrimack Health.
Probably want people to know is that I've spent my entire career, but I would actually define it more, I've kind of spent my life really focused on healthcare and providing healthcare and making sure that we maintain healthcare, whether that's solving an immediate problem or thinking long range. And I am really excited about the opportunities that we have here and what we can do for our communities. Healthcare is personal for everybody. There isn't one of us who hasn't had the need for healthcare at some point in our life. Sometimes it's a really happy occasion, sometimes it's a scary occasion, sometimes it's routine maintenance. But everybody needs healthcare, and it's very personal and really requires a level of trust. So I want to say thank you to the community for being a little hesitant at some of those past years, but now really coming back and trusting us with their health care. And really, there's nothing more important than people's health. So we value and appreciate that. So the last I would say is thank you to the community.
From Merrimack Health in Methuen, this is Karen Hayden reporting for Methuen Now.
Methuen High School students and senior citizens are proving that friendship has no age limit. The Adopt-a-Grandparent program is connecting teens and older adults in a way that's breaking stereotypes and building real bonds. Carol Ann Russo gives us a look into the club to see how simple moments are creating big impacts.
In Methuen, generations are coming together in the most heartwarming way. One smile, one story, and one dance at a time. It's called Adopt-a-Grandparent, a partnership between Methuen High School and the Methuen Senior Activity Center that's proving teens and seniors have a lot more in common than anyone expected.
And we actually got started in the fall of 2002. I was on duty at Methuen High School checking hall passes one day, and these two students who were juniors at the time and I didn't know, Trisha Kelly and Laura Saba, asked me if I wanted to be the faculty advisor for an intergenerational program. And I said, sure, what did you have in mind? And they said, we don't really know. We didn't really know we were doing that first year. We were centered around the card game 45s.
What started small has now grown into one of the center's most heartwarming community programs, full of laughter, friendship, and mutual respect.
One thing that shocked me was I didn't expect the older generations to be so welcoming. I really thought that they were going to be like, oh, well, that's not how it was back in my time. But that's not the case. They were like, whoa, that's amazing. Really tell me more. And I was shocked to know that they were really interested in how the times are now.
I didn't think it was going to be too much of a fun club. I thought there would be like a large division between the seniors and the students, and I didn't think we'd be interacting and having as much as bonds as we actually do. It's really surprising like how much connections we've made. And
For Methuen High students, Adopt-a-Grandparent flips the script. Instead of reading history in a textbook, they're spending time face-to-face with people who've lived through decades of stories and getting wisdom you just can't Google.
Perhaps you were in a war and you served, or perhaps you were a wife of a veteran. Perhaps you had to leave school at a young age to help your family. This is what the Adopt-a-Grandparent is about, learning about yesterday while learning about today. That's why it's so lovingly called The Eyes of the Past, Greeting the Eyes of the Future.
It's a way for us to kind of visualize like what we're told in history books. In school, we kind of just sit down and learn what we're told, and it's sort of a hard way to picture people actually living through it. So actually meeting and talking to people who have had these experiences and have worked through these times and grown and gotten older, it really opens your eyes to generations before us and how we have evolved and changed.
These students say the friendships they've made here feel more like family, and they wouldn't trade them for anything. And for Methuen seniors, it's a welcome surprise. Many say it's completely changed how they see the next generation. This program has broken teenage stereotypes that are so often depicted in today's media.
The seniors are interested. They want to know, what do we do for fun? What activities do we do? Where do we go on dates? What's the new lingo?
You hear stories, oh, these teenagers did this, and these high schoolers did that. Everybody's really, they're rampant to get out there and tell you all the bad things that kids have been doing. It seems to be the big news, but they're doing a lot of good too. You know, we have kids on student councils, we have kids on all different programs in their schools, and they're doing this because they like it, because they want it.
Each month brings something new: crafts, trivia, a hand at 45s, or just conversation. While each activity builds bridges, perhaps the most anticipated event of the year is the intergenerational prom.
And I joined just before the intergenerational prom, so I never got to go to my prom. And so I thought it was great. I went up to the store, I found a ball gown, I went all out, came down, came to the party, and I was decked out from top to bottom and ended up winning queen.
The Adopt-a-Grandparent program is always growing and looking for more Methuen seniors to join in on the fun. If you are ready to make new friends, share your stories, and have a few laughs, this group is waiting to welcome you.
If you want to get in touch with us, certainly just contact the Methuen Senior Activity Center and Sue will fill you in. But we do meet every Wednesday afternoon. We start on November 12th this year, meeting at the Senior Center from 2:30 until about 3:45. And we'll be here every Wednesday during the school year.
Reporting for Methuen Now, I'm Carol Ann Russo.
Here in Methuen, neighbors are coming together to help those feeling the pinch from the government shutdown. With many families suddenly losing their SNAP benefits, the city is stepping up to fill the gap and to remind everyone that this community takes care of its own. Carol Ann Russo has our story.
The Methuen Cares Initiative, a concept that the late Mayor Neil Perry brought forward at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, is making its return, hoping to ease the strain for thousands of Methuen families suddenly left without SNAP benefits.
In Methuen, 10,333 residents, about 19% of our community, depend on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as SNAP, to put food on the table. That assistance is now in jeopardy beginning on November 1st, leaving thousands of families and seniors, including many single parents raising children, uncertain about how they'll feed themselves and their loved ones. As mayor, it is my job to look out for my residents. If our federal government can't get their act together, we will do our part. This is not a political issue. It's a human one. It's about making sure nobody in our community goes hungry.
Access to nutritious food is the foundation of good health. When families struggle to eat,
It affects far more than hunger. It affects their physical health, their emotional well-being, and their ability to care for one another. Food insecurity is a public health issue, plain and simple.
The success of the food pantry is dependent on the generosity of residents, businesses, and organizations. And so far, that generosity has been overwhelming.
The City of Methuen, through the Department of Health, Human Services, and Inspections under Director Kaylee Teagan-Jompak, and with the help of Methuen Senior Activity Center Director Susan Riccio, is opening 8 food center donations across the city. We are asking residents, businesses, and community organizations to donate non-perishable food and paper products. Methuen residents who rely on SNAP, WIC, heating and fuel assistance, veterans benefits, or unemployment assistance will be able to pick up food and paper products here at the Methuen Senior Activity Center located at 77 Lowell Street.
If you're in need of assistance or to view a list of donation drop-off locations, visit methuen.gov/food.
We are all here to help our fellow Methuen-ites to make sure that no one goes hungry in this community.
If you can donate, please do. If you need help, please come forward. Methuen is a strong, compassionate community. Together we will make sure no one faces this crisis alone.
From goblins to superheroes, and yes, even rubber chickens, Gray Court Park was packed with characters. It's all part of Methuen's annual Fall Festival, a tradition that brings families together to celebrate the season. Recreation Director Steve Angelo tells us more.
We're here for 2025 Fall Fest. We have a beautiful day out here. It brings a lot of the community together. We have DJ Mike spinning some tunes for us. We have a lot of great volunteers from the high school who are giving out goodie bags. As Mayor Vorgod put together stuff, we have Ron Marcias giving out popcorn and apple crisp. The Exchange Club's giving out hot dogs. And it's just a great opportunity for the community to come together. We have a costume contest coming up in a little bit, where we'll give out prizes for Man's Orchard gift cards. And it's just an event that's probably my favorite event of the year, where it encapsulates a beautiful day of the fall. It brings Halloween access to Halloween season.
Happy Halloween!
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Methuen Now. We hope you've enjoyed our program and will join us again next time for more stories about your community. For the Methuen Now team, I'm Michelle Houle. See you around.
This local channel is sponsored by Methuen Insurance. Since 1979, Methuen Insurance has been providing comprehensive insurance options to our friends and neighbors. Find out how we work for you at 978-685-2549 or at michaudinsurance.com.